Welcome to The Circle. Our hope here is that everyday people will learn how to become Jesus followers. Our aim here on The Circle podcast is to have a conversation about the message on Sunday so we could apply it to our everyday lives. My name is Rob, I'm your host, and I'm joined by Jacob, a pastor at local Vineyard Church.
Hey everyone.
We're in a series called Hurry Up and Rest, where we're looking at the spiritual practice of a weekly Sabbath. Jacob, on Sunday, you talked about how Sabbath is a day to delight. Can you tell us what that means?
Yeah, for sure. Well, up front, I have to say that this topic is my favorite in the series.
Nice. Why is that?
Because before I started to regularly practice spiritual disciplines, honestly, I thought spiritual disciplines were for sad, somber people who did not want to take on life. They rather be in their prayer closets all day instead of being in the world and making a real difference. But, once I started to practice spiritual disciplines, I discovered that these practices led to joy.
So you're saying once you started to regularly practice spiritual disciplines, you began to experience tangible joy in your life?
Yeah, for sure. And it took time. It wasn't instant, but peace and joy started to become a result of spiritual disciplines.
Okay. So intentional time with God leads to peace and joy. I like that. So what does it look like to delight?
Well, first, let's break down joy. Joy comes in three forms. Joy is a feeling, joy is a condition, and joy is a challenge.
Okay. Let's start with the first one and unravel what joy as a feeling means.
I think most of us can relate to joy as a feeling. For example, if you listeners didn't know, Rob and his wife Anna just had a beautiful baby girl.
Yeah.
So Rob, do you have times when you just hold her, look at her, take care of your daughter, and your heart is just consumed with a feeling of joy?
Absolutely. 100%. Bro, my heart is constantly melting for her.
See, joy is a feeling. That's easy. Joy is a feeling. And joy as a feeling are those things in our lives that just naturally bring us joy. Our kids, our purpose, nature, or whatever it may be. But joy is also a condition, a character trait. It's not just a feeling that comes and goes. It's the kind of person you become when you follow Jesus.
So how would you say you became a person of joy by following Jesus?
That's the third thing. Joy is a discipline. It's a challenge. Just like you have to hit the gym or run or walk to keep your body healthy, you have to train yourself to be joyful. And that's where delight comes in.
Okay, cool. Can you just break that down for us a little bit more?
Yeah, so here you go. I'm going to get all scientific on us. Neuroscientists say our brains are drawn to negativity over positivity at a rate of 14-1, meaning we think about something negative 14 times before one positive thought comes in.
What?
Yeah, that's a lot of negative thoughts. So we have to be intentional about choosing joy and choosing things that bring us delight.
Yeah, that's deep, man. It makes me think of what the Apostle Paul says. If anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think about such things.
Absolutely. So during the Sabbath, it's a time to strategically think about and do things that bring you delight.
Can you give us a few practical examples of that?
Yeah, for sure. Delight in God's world. So don't believe 24-hour news or social media or what your negative Aunt Susie is saying. There is goodness in this world. At our marriage small group, almost everyone's happy this past week was the weather. And there's something about fresh air or the upcoming spring that brings joy. It's delightful. Or even if it rains at my house, we got rain boots for all the kids.
Nice.
Yeah, because on rainy days, we go outside, we find the biggest puddle and we jump in it. God's world is beautiful, and we get to make it more beautiful with the way we live our lives.
Yeah, I love that.
The next thing is delight in your life. Jesus said to love your neighbor as yourself. Here's the problem with that. We don't even know how to love ourselves. I encourage people to practice gratitude by intentionally stopping and thanking God out loud for the blessings in their lives, or by keeping a thankfulness journal. It is so easy to complain. Anyone can complain about life. It takes a person of real courage to be a person of thankfulness.
So delight in God's world, delight in your life by creating a heart of gratitude. What's the third way?
Here's the hardest one for all of us, myself included. Just delight in God himself. Sabbath is a life-giving day. It's a day to eat good food, to be around people you love, and celebrate what God has done and what God is doing in your life. Simply just stop, rest, and delight in God. Be a person that chooses joy.
Yeah, I feel that. So is there anything else that you want to add?
Yeah, one last thing. Don't make Sabbath complicated. If you're doing a 24-hour Sabbath, a family dinner, or a designated time, put the distractions aside and just focus on the goodness of God. Delight in Him, enjoy God, and what you'll discover is He delights in you.
That was awesome. Well, thank you for joining us on The Circle. If you have any other questions about Sabbath, feel free to text Jacob at 757-813-4314. He would love to share his heart for Sabbath with you. And we'll see you here next week for the local Vineyard's Circle Podcast.